Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. So, how many years have you been at HCC?
This is my 6th year.
Okay. 6th year.
Yeah.
And
my last semester.
And so you're graduating. Okay.
Yeah, I graduated in May.
And are you graduating with an AA?
Yeah, so a general studies AA.
Okay.
And then a computer-aided design certificate and an additive manufacturing certificate.
All right, I'm going to get that down again. A computer-aided design certificate.
Yes.
And what was the next one?
Additive manufacturing.
Additive manufacturing?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically 3D printing for industry.
Got it. Thank you.
Then HGC is the first, as far as I'm aware, one of the first schools to have a 2-year degree for that field.
Okay. Yeah. So, did you grow up in Howard County?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you go to school?
I graduated from Hammond High School.
Okay.
And lived in Savage.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Savage. Do you still live in Savage now, or you moved on?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where I still am.
Okay, got it. So, tell me a little bit about your background. I mean, have you always been interested in building things? Are you a car racing fan? Where did your interest come from in building this car and this team, essentially?
Well, I guess, so I was a mechanical engineering major, so, that's where the whole engineering aspect and design aspect came from. And then friends who were car people already, just spending time with them, I became a car person.
Okay. Did you study mechanical engineering somewhere else, or you just switch majors? Switch majors?
I spent 1 semester at another school, but it doesn't. I didn't do engineering there, so.
Okay, I got it. But you go.
I didn't do any engineering courses there, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you just have always had an interest in kind of how things work?
Yeah, and tinkering and.
Okay.
Yeah. Taking things apart, maybe putting them back together.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe putting them back together. I like that.
Taking it apart and realizing you can't put it back together.
So I've talked to Craig a little bit, Craig Murray, about,
Yes.
Being a faculty sponsor, but, he walked me through how you got to this point where, you decided you were going to be in this competition. But I think he said you guys were already building a car. Did I hear that right? Before he came into the picture?
Yeah. So this project started out as like a RC car type thing.
Okay.
Where myself and 5 other people were just like, okay, let's just set a budget, buy an RC car, and we can just do whatever we want, do it within that budget.
And let me just make sure I have, RC is remote control, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were going to do a remote,
small.
so small, not big,
Yeah.
like small enough that it could fit like no more than a foot or 2 big.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We were talking like under $50.
Yeah. Okay.
Because none of us wanted to spend that kind of money there was no reason to spend tons of money on something that was a one-time thing, probably.
And so this was just some of your friends that you decided, okay, let's do this for fun?
Friends / coworkers, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
And coworkers at the lab at school?
Yes.
Okay. Because were you all lab aides?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so you were all lab aides. Got it. And you just said, okay, well, let's just try it and see what we can do.
And so there was already an engineering club.
Okay.
Through DSGA.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, there was nobody there to actively take over the club.
Okay.
So we said, well, we'll just do it, and then we can use that budget to do our RC car thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then it turned to, oh, well, they have more money than we thought they did.
Oh.
Let's build a small go-kart.
Okay.
And then at some point during that semester, I discovered FSAE.
Mm-hmm.
And that was now 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
So we had to push to And we were going to go through with it and just get whatever we could done, not even FSA, just the go-kart thing. In hopes that maybe people who took over the club after us would turn it into a full-fledged team.
Okay.
But then Craig got on board, our department chair Mark got on board, and the ball started rolling faster than we could catch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it has taken on a life of its own at Howard. People are very invested.
Yeah. So, was it about 2 years ago that you started working on the car? This version of the car, I should say.
Starting working on this version of the car would have been, I guess just, we'll say like at the end of the summer, really, right before fall semester.
Okay. So summer 2020?
Yeah.
Okay.
End of summer 2020.
Okay.
Because that's when the rules that we have to follow were released. So.
Okay. So you started
working. That's the easiest way to say that.
Yeah. So I mean, you had
we've been doing development of stuff, before that in preparation for it to just gain some. Having never done something like that before, there was a lot to learn.
Right.
So.
Okay. But you officially started working on the car for the competition at the end of summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
when we became an official SAE recognized team.
Okay. So I'm trying to picture how you even begin. So can you walk me, keep in mind I'm a journalism background. So can you walk me through the steps? Do you do a drawing first? Do you do a computer model? What are some of the initial steps that you take before you actually start building?
Step one was read the rules.
Okay.
The rule book is about 150 pages.
Oh my gosh.
So step one was for myself and the 3 other system leads to really digest the rules so we didn't have to constantly be referencing them when making decisions.
So that would be you, Jake Brandt, Zane Robinson, and Alex Jones, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're studying the rule book, you're learning everything, so you don't have to repeat or change steps midway.
Correct.
Okay.
And then from there, once you read through the rules, it becomes things start to crystallize, become clear as to what direction you need to go in. Because there are minimum size requirements and, things have to be this far apart. There has to be this much, field of view for the driver, things like that.
Okay.
And then we basically drew up an ergonomic model of a human. Basically just circles and lines to represent the head, shoulders, hips, knees, and feet. So you can start trying to position them in a way that makes it look like they're driving a race car.
Okay.
And then basically we drew our chassis and frame around that type of a deal.
Okay. Got it.
At least at the basis, that's what it was.
Sure. Yeah, and then drawing the frame is one thing, but then you got to fill everything that goes in the car and build everything that goes in the car,
and
right?
So, parallel to that, we're making decisions to what things we're going to use. Picking an engine, picking the wheels and tires. Are we going to buy a seat or build a seat? Finding a harness and a helmet and all those things. Picking materials. All while verifying that those things are rules compliant. And luckily, the way the rules are written, there's a lot of freedom.
Okay.
Because they want the teams to innovate. It's not fun if there's no innovation, because that's just the same thing every year.
Yeah.
But it's how can we innovate in a way that makes sense for a first-year team with a smaller budget, less manpower, things like that.
Got it. So where are you doing all this? Are you, it's an unusual year because of COVID. Are you able to meet in the lab and work on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. We're there 5 days a week.
Oh wow, 5 days a week.
Yeah, from 5 to 9 p.m. every day. The school has been very helpful in allowing us to do that.
So this is like a part-time job.